Jai Supadikar Shri Guru Gaur Chandra Ju Ki Jai, Shri Giraj Govardhan Ju Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Pari Brajaka Charja Astater Sita Shri Sriman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramhamsa Pari Brajaka Charja Astater Sita Shri Sriman Srila Bhakti Rakak Sri Dardev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai. Welcome to Sri Chaitanya Saraswat Mission morning class, Dandavat. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jata Padakamalam Shri Gurum Vaishnavangscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitangastam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vidangscha Om Jnana Timirandasya Jnanandjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Svapadantikam Haribo. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita Ki Jai. Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Ki Jai. Srila Om Vishnupadesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada Ki Jai. Jai Srimati Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Haribo. Oh, Prabhuji, could you give me the second volume of Antya Lila? We're going to finish this one today, quite soon in the morning, so I think I'm
going
going
to give it to you now?
Antya 2, Antya Lila 2.
How many volumes of the Antya Lila are?
I think 3, but maybe, can you see? I think there are 3, but I'm not sure, I can't remember.
I could just see 2 now.
Oh, maybe only 2? I don't remember. Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhaktivinoda
Jai Jai Shri Chaitanya Jai Nityananda Jai Dvaita Chandra Jai Gaur Bhaktivinoda.
Haribo. So we are continuing to read the 8th chapter of the Antya Lila first volume. Ramachandra Puri criticizes the Lord. So, Paramananda Puri is speaking to Mahaprabhu about Ramachandra Puri, who is his godbrother. And then he's saying to the Lord, he's just doing this, he does this everywhere. It is the nature of Ramachandra Puri that first he lets one eat as much as desired, and if one does not eat more than necessary, with great attention he makes him eat more. In this way induces one to eat more than necessary, and then he directly criticizes him, saying, "You eat so much. How much money do you have in your treasury?" Sanyasi ke etta kao yanya Kara dharma nasha Daiva janino tomara kichum nahi basa. Also, by inducing sannyasis to eat so much, you spoil their religious principles. Therefore, I can understand that you have no advancement. This is in quotation marks. I mean, it's all in quotation marks because it's what's Paramananda Puri is saying, but Jai ke kaiche vyavahare ke bakaiche kai e anusandana teho karaya sadai. It is Ramachandra Puri's business to inquire always about how others are eating and conducting their daily affairs. Shastre je dui dharma kairache bhajana se karma nirantara ihara karana. The two kinds of activities rejected in the revealed scriptures constitute his daily affairs. Parasvabhava karmani na prasang sen nagarhaye Vishram ekatmakam pasyan prakritya purushena cha. One should see that because of the meeting of material nature and the living entity, the universe is actually uniform, is acting uniformly. Thus, one should neither praise nor criticize the characteristics or activities of others. This is a verse from the Srimad Bhagavatam and was spoken by Lord Krishna to Uddhava. I'm going to read that again because we are hearing that also in Upadesamrta. Nindari Shunya Buddhim. He has no desire, this highest type of association of the devotee. That is that devotee. He's not seeing, he's not praising any or criticizing the characteristics of others. One should see that because of the meeting of material nature and the living entity, the universe is acting uniformly. There's a synergy. Thus, one should neither praise nor criticize the characteristics or activities of others. And I think we can more and more begin to see in this way. Not because our criticizing or praising is also investing in the in that illusory plane with reference to others. Taramajje purva vidhi prasangsha chadiya paravidhi nindakare balishta janiya. Of the two rules, Ramachandra Puri obeys the first by abandoning praise, but although he knows that the second is more prominent, he neglects it by criticizing others. So he's following the first principle, never praising anyone. But although the criticizing is more dangerous, he's very good at that. The above-mentioned verse from Srimad Bhagavatam gives two injunctions. The first, called Purva Vidhi, is that one should not praise, and the second, Paravidhi, is that one should not criticize. As will be apparent from the following verse, the injunction against praise is less important than the injunction against blasphemy. One should carefully observe the Paravidhi, although one may neglect the Purva Vidhi. Thus, the actual injunction is that one may praise, but should not criticize. This is called Shlay Shokti, or a statement having two meanings. Ramachandra Puri, however, acted in just the opposite way, for he neglected the Paravidhi but strictly observed the Purva Vidhi. Since he avoided following the principle of not criticizing, Ramachandra broke both the rules. Purva Parayor Madhye Paravidhir Balavan. Between the former rule and the latter is more important. The second one is more important. This is a verse from Nyaya literatures. Jaha guna shata ache tahana kare grahana guna majje chale kare dosha aropana. Even where there are hundreds of good qualities, a critic does not consider them. Rather, he attempts by some trick to point out a fault in those attributes. Ihara sabhava iha karitena juyaya tatapi kahiye kichumarma dukapaya. One should not therefore follow the principles of Ramachandra Puri. Nevertheless, I have to say something against him because he's making our hearts unhappy. Ihara vachane kene anatyagakara purvavat nimantrana mana sabara boladhara. And again, Parmananda Puri is speaking to Mahaprabhu. And now he's saying, why have you given up proper eating due to the criticism of Ramachandra Puri? Please accept invitations as before. This is the request of us all. Prabhu kahe shabekena purire kararosha sahaja dharma kahe teho tara ki padosha. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu replied, why are you all angry at Ramachandra Puri? He is expounding the natural principles of sannyas life. Why are you accusing him? Jatihanya jiva lampatya atyanta anyaya Yatira dharma prana rakite ahara matra kaya. For a sannyasi to indulge in satisfying the tongue is a great offense. The duty of a sannyasi is to eat only as much as needed to keep the body and soul together. Tabe shabe meli prabhure bahu jatna kaila sabara agrahe prabhu ardeka rakila. When they all requested very fervently that Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu take a full meal, he still would not do so. Instead, he responded to the request by accepting half as much as usual. Dui pani kaudi lage prabhura nimantrane kabu dui jana bhokta kabutina jane. The cost for the food needed to invite Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was fixed at 2 panas of kodis, or 160 conch shells. And that food would be taken by 2 men and sometimes 3. Meaning, depending on who came with Mahaprabhu. Ahor dhyana viprajadi karena nimantrana prasada muya laite lage kaudi duipana. When a Brahmin at whose home an invitation could not be accepted invited the Lord, he would pay 2 panas of conch shells to purchase the prasadam. So Mahaprabhu was receiving so many invitations that sometimes he could not accept an invitation, but that person whose home he could not go to would pay for the prasadam, for Jagannath prasadam, that would be taken by the Lord somewhere else. Bojana viprajadine mantrana kare kichu prasada ane kichu paka kare gare. When a Brahmin at whose home an invitation could be accepted invited him, the Brahmin would purchase part of the prasadam and cook the rest at home. Pandita Gosai Bhagavana Charja Sarvabhoma Nimantra Neradini Jadikari Nimantrana Tansabara Ichaya Prabhu Kare Kare Nabojana Taha Prabhura Svantartyanai Jai Chaitaramana. Even on a day when Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was invited to dine by others, if Gadadhar Pandit, Bhagavanacharya, or Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya invited him, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had no independence. He would accept their invitations as they desired. Bhaktagane Shukadite Prabhura Avatara Jaha Jaiche Joga Taha Karena Vyavahara. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually descended to give happiness to the devotees. Thus he behaved in whatever way fit the time and circumstances. Kabuloki karite riti jena itara jana Kabu Svatantra Karena Aishvarja Prakatana. Because of his full independence, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sometimes behaved like a common man and sometimes manifested his godly opulence. Kabu Ramachandra Puri Rahaya Pricha Praya Kabutare Nahimane Deke Trina Praya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu sometimes accepted Ramachandra Puri as his master and considered himself a servant because Ramachandra Puri was the godbrother of his guru. And sometimes the Lord, not caring for him, would see him as being just like straw. So this is his independent nature. Ishvara charitra prabhura buddhira agochara jabe je karena se shabamanohara. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu behaved exactly like the Supreme Personality of Godhead, beyond the restriction of anyone's intelligence. He did whatever he liked, but all of his activities were very beautiful. Hey Mata Ramachandra Puri Nila Chale Dina Katarahi Kela Tirtha Karibare. Thus Ramachandra Puri stayed for some days at Nilachala, Jagannath Puri. Then he left to visit various holy places of pilgrimage. Teho gele prabhura gana haila harashita shirera patara jena pandila achambita. The devotees considered Ramachandra Puri to be just like a great burden on their heads. When he left Jagannath Puri, everyone felt extremely happy, as if a great stone burden had suddenly fallen from their heads to the ground. Svachande nimantrana prabhura kirtana nartana Svachande karena shabe prasada bhojana. After his departure, everything was happy once again. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted invitations as usual and led congregational chanting and dancing. Everyone else also accepted prasadam without hindrances. So now everything's back to normal. Mahaprabhu is taking his regular amount of prasadam and all the devotees are following. Guru upeksha kaile aiche palahai krame ishwara paryanta aparade tekai. If one spiritual master rejects him, hey, Haridas Prabhu? Haridev Prabhu?
Yeah.
Prabhu, would you mind bringing a little bit of water?
Yeah.
I forgot to get it this morning. If one spiritual master rejects him, one becomes so fallen that he, like Ramachandra Puri, commits offenses even to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Jajapi Guru Bujje Prabhu Tara Dosha Nalaila Tara Paladwara Loke Shiksha Karaila. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu did not consider the offenses of Ramachandra Puri, for the Lord considered him his spiritual master. Thank you, Prabhu. However, his character instructed everyone about the results of offending the spiritual master. Mahaprabhu was detached from all these things, but so sorry, excuse me. But it shows this, the character of Ramachandra does show to us how grave an offense it is to offend the spiritual master. His character will go down very quickly. Chaitanya charitra jena amritera pura shunite shravane mane lagaye madura. The character of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is full of nectar. Hearing about it is pleasing to the ear and mind. Chaitanya charitra likhishu na akamane anya se pabe prema Sri Krishna charane. I write about the character of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. O readers, hear, please hear with attention, for thus you will easily receive ecstatic love for the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. Here's the great benediction given by Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj. I write about the character of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, O readers. I write about the character of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. O readers, please hear with attention, for thus you will receive ecstatic love for the lotus feet of Lord Sri Krishna. Shri Rupa Raghunatha Padechara Asha Chaitanya Charitamrita Kahe Krishna Das. Praying at the lotus feet of Shri Rupa and Shri Raghunath, always desiring their mercy, I, Krishna Das, narrate Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, following in their footsteps. Hari Bol. That is now the conclusion of the Antya Lila, first volume. Yeah, I do. Thanks, please. Actually, we're about done with that time of reading, but let's begin just the introduction of the second volume. And this, the next chapter is chapter 9, the deliverance of Gopinath Patanayaka. And just an introduction. The 9th chapter is summarized as follows. Gopinath Patanayaka, the son of Bhavananda Rai, was engaged in the service of the government, but he misappropriated some funds from the treasury. Therefore, the Badajan, the eldest son of King Prataparudra, ordered that he be punished by death. Thus Gopinath Patanayaka was raised on the Changa to be killed. But by the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he was delivered. Moreover, he was even promoted to a higher post. And this is a very instructive sorry. It's a really instructive story. Also, many things we'll hear and benefit from hearing about this pastime of Gopinath Patanayaka. So we'll begin that tomorrow. Jai Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita ki Jai, Srila Krishna Das Kaviraj ki Jai, Srila Om Vishnupadesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki Jai. Actually, let's just review all the different chapters of the first volume. So chapter 1, Srila Rupa Goswami's second meeting with the Lord. And then the second chapter is the chastisement of Junior Haridas. The third is the glories of Haridas Thakur. And then the fourth is Ramananda Rai instructs Pradyumna Mishra.
Is that the one you just finished? Is this the one you just finished, or is this the one that you're going to start?
No, this is what we've just finished, but I wanted to review all just what the chapters are about. And then, yes, number 5, Ramananda Rai instructs Pradyumna Mishra. Number 6, Lord Chaitanya meets with Raghunath Das Goswami. Number 7, Lord Chaitanya meets Balabhabata. And number 8 was Ramachandra Puri criticizes the Lord. And we've read all these now. I'm going to begin now with the second volume. And that is, I heard something yesterday, Guru Maharaj was talking about Junior Harida and that chastisement. But he said it is external. Junior Haridas was actually not at fault. But but because Mahaprabhu came to teach Madhura Rasa and to bestow that upon the conditioned souls, he had to make such an extreme example, because Madhura Rasa resembles romantic love of the mundane plane. And he said that this is not, he said he had to very strictly, with extreme strictness, divide the two. That they never mix. There's no connection between them, except that one is the opposite of the other. And that's why this story. But of course, it was all external, because Junior Haridas, Chota Haridas, was not in any way separated from the Lord, actually. And he was always with the Lord, and the Lord could hear his divine singing, and that way they were, he's an eternal parshad of the Lord. So, but this is very like an extreme example. So there'll be no question. There'll be no question that any romantic so-called love of this world has some connection with Madhura Rasa. There's nothing, no connection whatsoever, except that one is a reflection of like a shadow form of the other. So that was that was a very nice thing. And the other thing in that class, in that talk, that someone brought up the position of the sister of Shiki Mahiti, whom Junior Haridas had gone to, from whom Junior Haridas had begged some rice. Madhavi, I want to say Madhavi, but now I'm forgetting. But anyway, she was an elderly lady. And there's a certain section, Guru Maharaj was saying, in Orissa, where they consider her like an eternal parshad, a great devotee of Mahaprabhu, but sort of half of a devotee. Like there's 2.5 great devotees. Because she's a lady form. And Guru Maharaj said the Gaudiya Mat does not support this idea. It has nothing to do with the internal devotion of anyone, what their external form is. So he was objecting to that. And other things too came out in that class about this pastime. Okay, so we'll begin that one tomorrow. Haribol. Jai Chaitanya Charitamrita ki jai. Jai na Sri Upadesamrita ki jai. Sri Rupa Goswami ki jai. Sri Rupanuga Guvarga ki jai. We'll just go to chant the verses. Vacho vegam manasakroda vegam jiva vegam udara pasta vegam etan vegam yo vishaheta dira sarvam apimam prithivim sisyat. We'll just go through the verses now. Atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha Janasangaschaloyam cha sadbir bhaktir binashiti Utsaha nishchaya dharya tatat karma pravartanat Sangatyagat sato vritte sadbir bhakti prasiddhiti Tadati pratigrahnati Guhyam makyati prichiti bhunte bojayate chaiva sadvidam pritilakshanam sadvidam pritilakshanam Krishneti asya giritam manasadriyeta dikshasi chet pranati bhischa bhajantamisham Shushushaya bhajana vigyam ananyamanya Nindadi sunyamridamipsita shangalabdya. So we've gotten some clarification on this last line today in Chaitanya Charitamrita. This nindadi. Nindadi meaning not inclined to praise or criticize others, but we've heard now. To praise is not so terrible. We're talking about praising of mundane qualities, ordinary qualities, but not to be involved in any kind of criticizing. But the devotees do praise one another in their devotional life, that's for sure. But not falsely praising. We want to give encouragement to each other, and it should be very sincere. But the quality of criticizing or focusing on the faults of others is a very big problem in mundane life, on every level. Tishte shabhava janite vapishascha doshe na prakritatvam bhakta janasya pasyet gangambasana kalu buddhapena panke brahmadavatvam apakachati niradharmaya.
Is it possible to change this?
Oh, sure.
I can't follow.
Oh, yeah.
That fast.
Yep. Okay, so number 7. Syat Krishna Nama Charitari Sitapya Vidya Pito Patapta Rasanasya Narochikanu Kinvadaradhanudinam Kalu Shaiva Jushta Swadvikramad Bhavati Tad Kadamulahantri. And this is of course about the sugar candy of the holy name, vanquishing the jaundice of ignorance. Tannamarupa charitari sukirtananu smrityo kramena rasana manasi niyoja tishtan brajetad anuragi jaganugami kalam nayet akilam ityupadesha sharam. And this is the verse now that we are studying. Engage the tongue and mind in the gradual process of chanting and remembering Krishna's names, forms, pastimes, and so on. Reside in Braja and spend all your time as a follower of those who have deep attachment to Krishna. This is the essence of all instruction. So this is the statement of Srila Rupa Goswami, that this is the essence of all instruction. So we are continuing to read Srila Guru Maharaj's different talks that are pertinent to this group, to this verse. Haribol. So we're now on the top, at the top of page 197.
Wait. What?
In the book.
Oh.
In the book. So we're reading the commentaries by Srila Guru Maharaj. When migrants come from one land to another, the government takes care of them and gives them shelter at a temporary camp. Then gradually the government makes arrangements for their settlement in a particular place. They are given some land or this and that to go on with their lives. Similarly, for Goloka, there is recruitment and then settlement according to individual suitability and occupational capacity. Pilgrims are given settlements in different camps within the different rasas of Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhurya, and there are also groups of variegated nature within them. In this way, full adjustment and engagement for one's livelihood, that is, service, are given. When settled, the pilgrims have shelter, a livelihood, and a particular engagement. Srila Rupa Goswami has elaborately described step by step the way this comes to us. Adao Shraddha Tata Sadhu Sango Tabhajana Kriya Tato Nartha Nivritti Syat Tato Nishta Ruchis Tata Ata Shaktis Tato Bhavas Tata Prema Byadanchati Sadakanam Sadhakanam Ayam Premna Pradurbhave Bhavet Kramaha. As a result of Sukriti, both Agyata and Gyata Sukriti, we acquire Shraddha, or divine faith. And then we find Sadhu Sangha. We get the association of a real devotee. Then under the guidance of a sadhu, we can engage in Shravan, Kirtan, Smaran, and the other activities, practices. Then as a result of our bhajan, anarthas, undesirable things go away. Anartha nivritti, complete retirement from the clutches of undesirable feelings, is the inseparable consequence of our bhajan, and only then will our bhajan take on a realistic characteristic. After anartha nivritti and nishta, the next higher stage, Shravan, Kirtan, and the other duties which we are now to undergo will come to their real position, to touch the reality beyond the region of imagination. This becomes very, very tangible. So after Nishta, this steadiness, after Anartha Nivritti, which is the, Srila Prabhupada compared it to boiling butter. And when all the impurities are separated, then the ghee is there. So now there's so many anarthas that are being removed one by one in our practicing life through surrender and so many activities, tat karma pravartana. And then after that, when anartha nivritti is, when these anarthas are removed and our vision is clear, and then nishta is the result, one becomes very steady. And then, in that position, some real connection in Shravan Kirtan comes. Then there's an actual connection with the divine plane. And then that becomes, our Shravan Kirtan becomes really in an actual position, an actual divine position. So Nishta means Nairantarya, continuous Krishna consciousness, untampered by any other desire or conception. And really we have so many conceptions that are not true. Layers of them. We can't even identify them. But Krishna knows how to identify them for us. We simply have to become, what do you call it in yoga? You have to become, when you can move easily, what is that called?
Loose.
Huh?
Loose.
Fluid, yes, or
Loose.
yes. When we become, when we are allowing the Lord to move us, to move us in His divine way, which is always perfect, then easily these different anarthas can be identified by us. We can see them. Otherwise we go into our own habit of always defending our actually diseased position and blaming the outside for the fact that I'm suffering. This has to stop. I mean, we just have to stop doing that. We have to see that what's coming is coming for a reason, and it's all good. There's all mercy and kindness behind that, moving us out of a plane of darkness and there's just no end to it unless we allow the Lord to take us out of that. So Nishta means Narantarya, continuous Krishna consciousness, untampered by any other desire or conception. As when oil is poured, there is a continual flow. Not drop by drop movement, but a continual flow. So Krishna consciousness in this stage of Nishta always remains in some form or other without a second of detachment. So in the form of Nishta, there's always Krishna consciousness flowing. Whatever the situation, Krishna consciousness is uninterrupted. Then real ruchi, real taste for Krishna consciousness will come to us, but not before that. And in that process of anartha nivritti, all kinds of false pride, desire for fame, name, position, all those things will be burnt out. So then real taste is possible. Ruchi comes after continuous Krishna consciousness. Before that, when other devotees are also present in our mind, then ruchi for Krishna may be an adulterated thing. When other desires, before that, when other desires are also present in our mind, then ruchi for Krishna may be an adulterated thing. It may not be reliable. So this is something I was thinking about this morning, and I think it's a really important point. I want to give an example. When the body, for example, has vitality, we are mixing that physical vitality with our enthusiasm. And when that vitality is compromised, we may feel that we are losing our enthusiasm or losing our faith. But it is not like that. Faith is not dependent on any sort of vitality. So it's mixed. Our conception of things is mixed with many things. And this is normal. So when, for example, by the grace of the Lord, some lack of vitality, either mental, emotional, physical, comes to us, then we must realize that we're to go to a sweeter and deeper plane of engagement. Not that we'll think, I'm losing all my enthusiasm. I have nothing left. No, we can't come to that. That conclusion will not come in the plane of surrender. We will begin to see another thing that the Lord is showing us, that without some physical vitality, you will connect with me in some other way. So that's just an example, but it can happen, and it can happen easily. So we are to pass through many things in this plane of anartha nivritti, in this practice, in this stage of anartha nivritti, and always in the mood of surrender. Then we can find a deeper and deeper and more substantial resting place than the one that was suddenly taken away. It must be in surrender. We will not be able to find our way into these deeper things by any other means. And then we will find there is sweetness behind every movement of the Lord. But we have such a big ego, and we want to push away all these lessons. No, this is not what I want. And this is really going to hamper our progress. So we bow down. My Lord, look at my stubbornness, and you are showing me this. And it is your grace. Bow down, bow down, bow down. Like Sudarshan said, when I bowed down one day before Srila Gurudev, he said, do you know what obeisance means? He says, it means I am your goat. You can take my tail, you can take my head. So this is surrender. And this is our constant practice. And the mind will make all sorts of false arguments that will keep us from doing that. But it's all nonsense. What is that head? A goat head. Who wants to keep it? If he wants it, let him take it. We will not be killed by that. We will become more. So only when continuance of Krishna consciousness is within us 24 hours a day, and we find taste for Krishna within us, can that be considered to be genuine and reliable. When that nishta stage comes after anartha nivritti, and then ruchi actually comes, that real taste, because of actual connection with the divine plane, then it is real, it is substantial, it is actually the genuine thing. Otherwise, mentally or so many things, we are finding some taste, and that is also the grace of the Lord. But that we have to go deeper and deeper, and not just rely on that. Because what if that goes away one day when I have a headache or somebody said something to me that made me mad? No genuine taste is going to be disturbed by any of those things. So we can't depend upon those. We are happy to have some enthusiasm from anywhere we can find it. But we have to realize that we need to go deeper and deeper to find something very much the actual thing. After asakti, the second stage in the development of prema appears. Gradually that taste will grow into asakti. In this stage, if Krishna consciousness suddenly is felt to be a little faint, that its intensity has become even slightly less, one will feel greatly disturbed. Oh, for so long, Krishna consciousness has been absent in me. So this is the symptom of asakti. Even if for a second some remembrance is a little disturbed, he'll feel so much separation. Oh, for so long I forgot Krishna. And then after asakti, the second stage in the development of prema appears, bhava bhakti. When bhava appears within you, it will be very, very sweet. Bhava is the dawn of prema, and it is very sweet. One will feel that only Krishna is tasteful, and that there is rasa only in him, and all else is biras, tasteless. Bhava is the first connection in the heart with real devotion to Krishna. And when we reach this stage, then certain signs will be patent within us. Kshanir avyarta kalatvam viraktir manasunyata ashabanda samutkanta namagane sadaruchi asakti stad gunakyane priti stad vasati stale ityadayon bhavas. Ityadayon bhavasyor jata bhavankure jane. Sorry, that was horribly read. Ityadayon ubhavasyor jata bhavankure jane. The first thing is kshanti. If we suffer any loss of anything, we will not pay much attention to it and feel, oh, it does not matter. Let it go. Avyarta kalatvam. we will become very particular that not a minute, not a second goes without recollection of the Lord. We will try to utilize every point of time to its best. Virakti, we will feel apathy toward and avoid all worldly topics and things, everything other than Krishna consciousness. Manasunyata, we will not care for name and fame. We will feel no necessity for personal respect. If anyone says something insulting, we will feel, oh, it does not matter. Ashabandha, we will feel certainly Krishna will accept me one day. Asha. Asha means hope. Certainly, Krishna will accept me one day. My attempt, my desire must be fulfilled. One day I surely will have his grace. So this is some of the feelings that come in bhava. When that bhava stage is attained, then this is the feelings and you could say mentality, but the divine mentality of that devotee. Samutkanda, at the same time we will feel eagerness. Oh, I am not yet getting anything substantial. I cannot trace any connection of Krishna within me. So many days have gone by, but still I cannot trace any real tinge of devotion to Krishna in me. And don't forget that this is all in an incredibly sweet feeling. This is not depression or discouragement that we know. This is all in the sweet, positive feelings. When will Krishna come to me? My days are almost gone. When will his grace come to me? This life is gone, and there's no certainty that wherever I will be posted in my next life, I will not be lost in this universe. Who will care for me now? It has been so long, and still not yet is there any trace of success toward Krishna Bhakti in me. Such negative divine feelings. Negative means I don't have it. Maybe I will not get it. This is all extreme sweetness in feeling in the bhava stage. Wow. Namagane sadaruchi. The common thing will be there that whenever we take the name or hear the name, we will feel inner encouragement. We will always feel within the tendency to sing the name of Krishna, and our mind will always return to singing the name whenever we get the chance. Ashaktis tad gunakyane. We will feel much encouragement in describing the many good qualities of the Lord. When we are talking with friends about the attributes and qualities of Krishna, we will feel quite at home. Such talk will feel very tasteful. Pritistad bhashati stale. We will have special attraction for the places where Krishna showed his pastimes, Vrindavan, Navadvip, and similar places. We will feel a particular intimacy with the places and things connected with Krishna. Ityadayon ubhava shur jata bhavankure jane. These are the signs of progress by which we can understand whether we have the grace of the Lord or not. With only the first connection, a primary connection with Krishna, all these signs come, and all else will become tasteless without Krishna's connection. Any subject, anything, everything must have connection with Krishna. That's not a practice for them. Those in the bhava stage, that is their real feeling. Only Krishna consciousness will feel tasteful. Our internal attraction will be toward Krishna alone. All right. When this Bhavankura sprout of prema begins creeping in our heart, then these stages will be patent within us. Patent, that is the very nature that will be within us. Our life will become fulfilled and Krishna will not be far off. The process is like a blossoming flower. In this stage, the sweet scent has only begun to come out. And when it will be a little more open, the sweet scent will attract Krishna, and who will come. The sweet scent of this bhava, the sweet scent of this blossoming flower within will attract Krishna to come and enjoy the flower. And then comes the stage of prema. So this is very, very important for us to read and keep this in mind and understand this type of journey and the increments and stages and this is vigyan, systematic understanding of things. Otherwise we're going to be lost in a kind of vagueness within our minds, not even know which I'm going this way or I'm going this way. And that's not our duty. Gurudev has given us so many things, and it is our duty to understand these things and practice them carefully and not be vague. Jai Sri Upadesamrta ki jai, Srila Rupa Goswami ki jai, Jai Om Vishnupad Srila Bhakti Rakak Sri Dardev Goswami Maharaj ki jai. And of course we cannot separate the personification of these divine conclusions and connection with Gurudev with Srila Guru Maharaj is our divine master, Srila Bhakti Sundar Govindadev Goswami Maharaj. Hari Bol. Hari Haraya Nama Krishna Yadavaya Nama Yadavaya Mahaya Keshvaya Nama Govindam Shri Sudam Giri Hari Go Shri Guru Gaurachandraju Ki Jai, Shri Giriraj Govardhanju Ki Jai. Jai Vishnupad Paramahansa Pari Brajakacharya Stoter Santa Shri Sriman Srila Bhakti Sundar Govinda Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Pari Brajakacharya Astoter Santa Shri Sriman Srila Bhakti Rakak Sri Dev Goswami Maharaj Ki Jai. Shri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrinda Ki Jai. Sannyasi Vrinda Ki Jai. Namacharya Shri Laharidas Thakur Ki Jai. Shri Narottam Shamananda Srinivas Thakur Prabhu Ki Jai. Sad Goswami Prabhu Ki Jai. Saparshad Sriman Mahaprabhu Ki Jai. Saparshad Shri Nityananda Prabhu Ki Jai. Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kundagiri Govardhan Ki Jai. Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Acharya Vrinda, Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Ma Ki Jai. Tadiya Shaka Ma Ki Jai. Shri Chaitanya Saraswati Mission Ki Jai. Kol Kartal Ki Jai. Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai. Srimati Tulsi Devi Ki Jai. Samaveda Vaishnava Mandala Ki Jai. Samaveda Bhakti Vrinda Ki Jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi Haribol Dandavat.
Srimati Shri Lekha Devi Dasi.
Jai Gurudev Ki Jai.
So today with us is Ganga Lila Devi, Confundido, and Q.
Where is Bhima Krishna Prabhu?
I don't know where he's at.
Where is Bhima?
And then today we have the Friday program, right? Here's
Friday program.
Yes.